Bring in Texas Department of Public Safety spokesperson Chris Olivarez. Lieutenant Olivarez and I have spent a lot of time together down on the border. The mayor of El Cajon, California, and Republican Congressman candidate Bill Wells. Flagler County, Florida Sheriff Rick Staly. Gentlemen, appreciate you all being here with us. Start with Lieutenant Olivarez, literally on the border. Texas has obviously gotten a lot of criticism because of Operation Lone Star and it going it alone on cracking down on the border. I'm wondering if you see the policies that are being proposed by the Biden administration versus the Texas policies, and give us a sense of whether you think the new Biden executive order is going to actually make a difference in Texas.
Well, good morning, Leland. Good morning to the mayor and, of course, the sheriff. One thing that we did in Texas, Leland, we didn't do anything different or anything new as far as passing any new laws. All we simply did was, enforce state laws like criminal trespass, criminal mischief, and actually placed physical barriers along the border because, for one, a lot of the counties along the border were part of the governor's disaster declaration, which gave the governor the authority to have National Guard place physical barriers along the river, which would deter some of the illegal crossings that were happening in Texas. Of course, Texas, as you know, was the epicenter for the last 3 years for illegal crossings. And ever since January, illegal crossings in Texas have decreased over 72%. Now we're seeing that shift now in Arizona, California, New Mexico, where now you're seeing an influx of illegal immigration over there, and also special interest countries such as Africa, the Middle East, and China that are crossing in those areas. Because for one, well, several reasons, the infrastructure there, you have gaps between the border wall. There is no National Guard. There is no law enforcement. There is no Border Patrol responding to some of these areas to actually apprehend and deter some of these illegal immigrants that are coming across. So I think what we've done in Texas, as far as the physical barriers, building our own border wall, actually making arrests, actually applying consequences, really sent the message that if you do cross into Texas illegally, you're either going to get arrested or you're either going to get pushed back, meaning you're going to get deterred because of the physical barriers that we have there. Now, as far as this new executive order, we know for a fact that, over the last 3 years, that's one thing that we've been asking is you have the executive order of the federal government to take action. When they reversed every executive order from the previous administration, including the border wall, we saw this, historic influx of illegal immigration on top of the gotaways and criminal activity and drugs. So right now, my question would be, why now? Why during a political year are you actually going to, have this perception to the American people that you're actually going to take control? And really, Lillian, 2,500, that is still a number that's not sustainable. It's well over 900,000. That's not taking into account people that are being processed at the port of entry or being flown in from other countries directly into the U.S. You're still looking at well over 1 million, illegal immigrants that are coming across the border.
That's a great point in terms of people who have taken used the CBP One app and applied for asylum in their own countries, and those numbers aren't in the numbers we see. Mayor Wells, there's obviously this announcement at the White House, and they always get a bunch of people to stand behind them. Kelly talked about a couple of members of Congress who are going to be there. They're also having border mayors. They were reaching out to border mayors. They didn't invite you. I'm wondering what you would have said to the president today had he invited you.
Well, I'm sure my invitation just got lost in the mail because I know they wanted me there. But, the truth is I've been pretty critical of the Biden administration. I'm in San Diego area where we had 150,000 street releases since October. Now, I would have just told him that it's what he's doing to the San Diego area is really unsustainable. And we're very worried about the 52,000 special interest aliens that have come through, most of them 90% through the San Diego County area. So, I would have told him that the area that I live in needs his help not to be flooded with more illegal aliens, especially considering the fact that we already have the biggest homeless crisis anywhere in the country with almost 90% of the homeless people on the streets of California.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.